Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review The Story of Film, A New Generation. And this is a documentary from filmmaker Mark Cousins as he takes us through the new century of film making, from the different ways that technology has advanced, the stories that we're telling, and all kinds of things in between. Now this film kind of feels more like an extended thesis project. This feels like at least like 15 YouTube video essays clumped together to make a 2-hour and 40-something minute film. And here's the thing. You could tell this is a passion project, and Mark Cousins really cares about what he's doing here. And as a cinephile, I appreciate that. This film seems like something right up my alley. I didn't even care that this was closing in on 3 hours. I was excited. The issue is, it feels like there's no real 100% clear thesis to what you're trying to show in this documentary. So it feels muddled. It feels all over the place. It feels scattered. It feels like a string of different kinds of thoughts and perspectives and different essays crammed together all into one big film. So the flow between things doesn't always work. Doesn't flow between ideas. And some of the ideas that Cousin presents are really thought-provoking and deep in their analysis. And I feel like those are the ones you probably should have focused on and trimmed this down. Because there's also a lot of them that feel condescending, feel like you're being talked down to by Cousins, and some of them just don't make a whole lot of sense. There's not a whole lot of strong evidence, not a strong thought put into some of those commentaries, and some of them just sound downright just not really understanding what was going on in the films. And I do appreciate that he takes an approach to going over tons of films, many of which you probably never heard of. He does drop in Frozen and Joker at the beginning to get his hooks into you. But as a cinephile, this is probably something where it's like you could sit through this and get past some of the commentary that doesn't make a whole lot of sense or just is not great, and just appreciate this as something that's like, wow, I'm getting a spotlight put on all of these films. I was adding things to my watch list as I was watching the film. So you can at least get that out of it. His narration is a little distracting. The cadence that he utilizes and the way that he says things, it takes you out of the film a lot. It's weird. It's an odd choice. And yes, he has a thick accent, but it really doesn't have anything to do with that. It's just the way that he will talk about things. And it's just like, what's going on here? So in general, I feel like the execution of this film and the lack of consistency really brings it down from a film perspective. But if you're watching this as a cinephile, I think you have plenty to get out of it. And you can get past some of the things. You might question some of the arguments. You might question some of the analysis and think, well, that is not great at all. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But you can get enough of enjoying and getting these spotlights of all these different films, from international cinema to independent cinema and everything all around. You'll leave with a giant watch list. I can guarantee it. Unless you watch more movies than me, and you've seen all these already. But in general, I think this is something that cinephiles can spend the time, if you have it, to check out, but not really going to grab the attention of people who don't love cinema. Because you'll definitely be alienated by this obscene runtime and the obscurity of a lot of the films that he talks about. But those are my thoughts on The Story of Film, A New Generation. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.